All right, just making sure that we are live. Check one, two, check one, two. Making sure that we are live for this stream because boy, this was a if you a Patriot fan or you support the Patriots or whatever, this game right here was pretty trash. All right, so I'm live. What's up, YouTube? What a great picture here. DGP back again with another episode of Patriots Keys. This is episode 8. This is the discussion on what we just witnessed, week 4, talking about the Patriots versus the Bills. You guys don't know score. Bills beat the Patriots 16-0. Patriots were at home the first time they got shut out since 1993 in terms of at home. Last time they got shut out was 2003. So it's been a while. Records are meant to be broken, but yeah, man, let's get into this discussion talking about. So this, I'll start with bad news. Bad news is that we lost our first game of the season. We are 3-1. However, the good news is that we are still first in the division. We're still number 1, and Tom Brady comes back next week. So there's that silver lining in it. Let's talk about the keys to victory that it says. I'm pulling up the stats as I speak. But yeah, man, this was a great game to play. I said Garoppolo was starting because that's what reports were saying earlier in the week. But then we found out today that Garoppolo didn't have the arm strength, that he actually didn't play, and he was inactive. And Brissett was starter, and Edelman was the backup. Now, going into this game, I felt like we can win. I felt like even though we had 2 injured quarterbacks, I felt like if we just keep going with the game plan, doing what we have to do, I thought we could succeed. What's up, Scotty? I mean, Broncos. Anyways, going into this game, they had no Sammy Watkins, even though we had Brissett, who played decent Thursday. Didn't have a great game. He played decent. I thought we were still able to come in this game and win. So let's go over the stats. I said first thing we had to stop the run game because they were top 10 in the run. Their passing, their total offense was trash, but the run game was top 10. So I told we had to watch out for that. And they average about 120 yards a game. And looking at the stats, the Bills got 134 yards. So we didn't stop the run. We actually never won the league. We averaged about 151 per game. This game we only averaged 90. Again, they averaged about 4.8 yards carry. They averaged 4.2. So, I mean, again, we did not stop the run game. I said that was a big thing because that's their offense, is running the ball. So 134 yards, they got over their limit. We did not stop them. So that is one key that we did not go into. Now, I said don't give them extra possession. I said because they had such a trash offense, we don't turn the ball over. Pretty much, we should be set. And then when it comes down to the turnovers, Brissett, he did have that fumble where he was scrambling, rolled in the pocket. It was like third down, I believe. I think it was in the second quarter too. And we was actually in the red zone. Gostowski missed the field goal early. I'll get into that earlier, but Gostowski missed the field goal. We were down. It was 16-0. It might have been still 16-0. Or actually, it was 13-0, my bad. And we just needed something. We need to get some points out the drive. Martellus Bennett had a great catch, got us down there. And then Brissett just ran, did not slide, and he fumbled the football. So right there, didn't take care of the ball for that one play. Outside of that, we did a pretty good job. Brissett almost fumbled again, in the pocket. So, I mean, if I had to say take care of the football, we didn't do that. We gave him extra possessions, which is something I said we should not have done. So, again, that's another key that we have failed. So, we're 0 for 2 on keys this game before I get into the whole game review. And then time of possession. I said time of possession would be key. And looking at the stats, the time of possession, I feel like we didn't have the ball that much. 23 minutes and 49 seconds for us, 36 minutes and 11 seconds for the Bills. They dominated the game damn near 2/3 of the game. The Bills had the ball. And, if you're going to win a game, it's real hard to do. The Bills actually came in the game averaging only 24 minutes and 38 seconds. We averaged 33 minutes and 7 seconds. So I felt like we controlled the game, we controlled the tempo, but it went the opposite way. and the Bills controlled it. So if we're going to look at that, the Bills controlled the time possession. So now that makes it 0 for 3 on the keys today. The Patriots, they did not go through any keys of what I asked for. I said those 3 keys to time possession, don't give them extra possessions and stop the run game. And we failed all 3 of them. Looking at the stats, we actually this game we had 5 fumbles. 5 fumbles. One of them was lost. That was the Brissett one where he scrambled in the red zone. But 5 fumbles. I don't think you can win a game with 5 fumbles and you don't have the ball that much. You just can't win. You're not going to win games. Let's also move on. Looking at the stats too. This basically throughout this whole game, like this wasn't a Patriot game. If you look at third down, Bills were 7-15. Patriots were 1 for 12. We only completed 1 third down today. That is awful. 1 third down. We were 2 for 3 on fourth down, but 1 of 12 on third down. How you gonna win the game? Cooper, how does it feel? It sucks that we lost. I hate losing, but at the end of the day, we still number 1 in the division, whether we won or lost today. Tom Brady comes back next week, so looking at it right now, it sucks. But the bigger picture, it's not the end of the world. It's actually good because when you think about it, it gives Tom can give Tom some more motivation on why these players need him more. Try to tell them, hey, now that I'm back, let's get rolling. Patriots blow, Pats suck. That's your opinion, man. Top opinion. Let's talk about Gronkowski though. Rob Gronkowski, he returned Thursday against the Texans, didn't do anything, but was just running out there, blocking, and he did the same thing today. He did run a couple routes. He did get his first catch of the season, so that's good. Pretty much when it comes to Gronkowski is we're just trying to conserve him from Brady. Didn't want him to get hurt. So we're looking pretty good right now. We're looking pretty good in terms of that. Martellus Bennett, when Brady comes back, it's going to be I'm telling you right now, if y'all see what the playbook is right now, it's real minor. We was doing options, having Edelman run around. When Brady comes back next week, you'll see the actual playbook. The floodgates are going to open. This offense, bro, I'm telling you. And it's cool that LeGarrette Blount team like first 3 weeks. So if we have to, Brady can just rely on having a running game, something he doesn't always have in terms of offense. But Brissett, if I had to give him a grade, fucking a D. Brissett played trash today. He was like a 3rd and 18. He had time in the pocket. He was only 3-man rush, and he overthrew Edelman. Edelman was able to get one hand on it, and typically if you get a hand on the ball, you should catch it. But Amendola was wide open. So if I had to give a grade on Brissett, I'm giving him a D. Now let's talk about the running back. James White, second half, he didn't do bad. He did pretty good second half. Let's look at the stats. In terms of him receiving 5 receptions, 50 yards. Rushing was 4 for 12. He basically did his job. Little Deion Lewis role. We actually started throwing out the backfield a little bit more, which was something I like. I believe the second quarter for Brissett to throw the ball to a wide receiver. Martellus Bennett, 5 receptions, 109 yards. Look, man, Martellus Bennett, it seems like he would throw it like 20 yards or maybe like 5-10 yards, but Martellus Bennett after the catch is just an animal. This is how we got most of his yards. I'd probably say about 80 of his yards. He got it after the catch. So that was really impressive. Brissett was 17-27, 205 yards, 4 attempts, 23 rushes, and that fumble, if I got to say the stats earlier. But again, Blount, 13 attempts, 54 yards. The running backs didn't do too bad. Again, they could have done better. They could have done more. But if I had to give a grade for the backs, I'll say about a C. Maybe. Yeah, I'll say about a C. They didn't do nothing to hurt us, but yet they didn't do nothing to win. It was just generic, I should say. So I'm going to give the running backs a C on this grade. Brandon Bolden, he did get hurt on a reception. It looked kind of bad. It looked like his ankle or knee injury. because it got stuck. So hopefully he's okay, because even though he might not be the best running back and he's not my favorite running back, we only have 3 running backs with him, White, and Blunt. Deion Lewis is hurt with the injury, so we'll see on that. So let's move on to the wide receivers. Edelman didn't do anything, didn't get no looks. Amendola, like I said, missed that catch. Malcolm Mitchell. Let's talk about Malcolm Mitchell, because I forgot to mention this. In the beginning of the game, Robert Blanton, he got into a scuffle with with Malcolm Mitchell and what's his name? Jacoby Brissett. I forgot his name. I'm watching the Raven game too. Basically, what the quarterbacks typically do is they typically jog up and back from one end zone to the next. And while we was jogging, Blanton didn't want any of that and just shoved Brissett and Malcolm Mitchell and take advantage. It was a little scuffle for about 20, 30 seconds. And so I thought Malcolm Mitchell was going to be a key factor in this game. I thought he was going to come up clutch. But Malcolm Mitchell, he didn't even get in the game. I think he might have just been on special teams. But as wide receivers go, and I'll include tight ends. I'll include tight ends separate because we use our tight ends a lot. Wide receivers go, I'm going to have to give them a fucking D on this one. They didn't do anything, but like I said, Amendola dropped that pass that could have been better. I'm going to have to give them I won't give him a D because Brissett played bad. I'll give Brissett a D, but I'll probably give I get the wide receiver a C minus. So quarterback gets a D, running backs they get a C, and wide receivers get a C minus. Now let's look at the tight ends. Rob Gronkowski, 1 catch, 11 yards, his first catch of the season. Wasn't really out there to catch the ball, more so out there just to run block. And Martellus Bennett, 5 receptions, 109 yards. Yo, Marty B did his thing. Yo, without hold on real quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's see. Exactly. Markel. It's all good, man. It's all good. Just I was talking about the tight ends. If I had to give the tight ends a grade, I'm gonna have to give them a B plus. They did a great job. Gronkowski did what he had to do, was basically blocking Martellus Bennett, like I said earlier, 5 receptions, 109 yards. He did his thing. So I'm gonna give them a B plus. That was the only bright spot, really. The offense, the offensive line. The offensive line, I'm gonna have to give these boys a fucking D minus, bro. They are worse. They were worse than the quarterback today. Brissett was pressured all the time. No blocking whatsoever, really, unless they only sent like 2 or 3 people. I just, man, it's so much I can say on this offensive line, but this is the offensive line I typically know. And it's crazy because Brady usually maxes it, and I always thought offensive line is decent, but this offensive line is so trash, bro. I'm gonna have to give them a D minus. So if you guys missed the offensive grades, I say quarterback D, running backs C, wide receiver C minus, tight ends B plus, and the offensive line gets a D minus. Now that's it for this. Let's get on to, and also before I say anything else on our defense, shout out to Zach Brown, the linebacker for the Bills. He was out here putting in work. He had 18 total tackles. He also forced a couple fumbles. I hate to acknowledge it, but I had to give the man credit for putting in work. Zach Brown was that dude today. I think the most total tackles after his 18 was 7. So this shows you he was all over the field today. He also had a sack too. So Zach Brown, he was definitely key for the Bills in this game. Talk about defense. This defensive line, Jabal Shear didn't do enough. I think he should have. I mean, he was non-existent for real. Keep it a band. Yeah, Markel, I saw it too. I saw and here come Kid Troll. It's all good. I need to make Markel a mod. I need to make him a mod. Um, okay, there you go. All right, Markel, you're a mod now. But yeah, man, defensive line, Chris Long was doing much. Um, he was pretty much held like the defensive line ain't getting any pressure, and when they did get pressure, Tyrod Taylor escaped them. They could. I've not seen so many missed tackles. Yo, fam, I'm giving the defensive line a fucking C minus, bro. Only because I don't even know. No, fuck it. They gonna get a D2. They get a D. They failing, bro. Fucking no pressure at all. They fucking keep. I can't, bro. I don't even want to talk about this defense, bro. This game was just sucked, bro. This game sucked. Let's talk about the linebacker core. Dante Hightower, man. Thank you for Dante Hightower, bro. Came back. He did provide a little bit of pressure. I saw when he was on the blitz. Jamie Collins, he provided pressure as well. And he did miss Tyrod on that tackle, though, which is one thing that, again, for some reason, Tyrod was killing him, bro. So Logan Ryan, we talk about tackles. I mean, I guess Logan Ryan had to be all the field. He had 17 total tackles as a corner, bro. Jesus Christ. That just shows you that Tyrod just kept escaping. Man, they kept running the ball outside. So Logan Ryan was busy today. He had 17 tackles, bro. So shout out to Logan Ryan for actually doing stuff. McCourty had 7. But yeah, linebacker core, bro, was average at best. So I'm gonna give them a C. They get a C on this because they could have got probably a B minus, but just too many missed tackles, too many times that we could have got Shady or Tyrod and they was able to escape. Let's talk about the secondary real quick. Secondary was straight. Keep it a buck. Like I said, Logan Ryan had 17 tackles. McCourty had 7. McCourty did his job. Malcolm Butler, he did his job really. I mean, more so if these guys would be able to tackle, maybe they could have, were able to, maybe cover better. They was just on the field a lot. The corners were at least they was covering forever. So I'm gonna give the cornerbacks a B minus on this one. Malcolm Butler could have did better. However, Robert Woods, who I picked up on fantasy because I figured with Watkins at IR, he'll be the top guy. Woods had 7 receptions for 89 yards. He was the highest targeted outside of Shady McCoy, who had 6 receptions, 38 yards, and that touchdown. So I'm gonna give the cornerbacks a B minus on this one. They could have played better, but at the same time, they could have did a little bit better to do their stuff. All right, let's talk about the fucking kicking. Yo, Steven Gostowski, fam. About Steven Gostowski, and I'm gonna let Markel go ahead and handle Kid. Actually, I should remove Kid as a moderator. I should. No, I ain't gonna do that. But let's talk about Let's talk about Gostowski. People keep saying I said Gostowski's the GOAT. I didn't say Gostowski was the GOAT. I said Adam Vinatieri's the GOAT, and Gostowski's the second coming. I think Steven Gostowski missing that field goal, man. I don't know what it is. If I had to compare it to anybody, he looks like Justin Tucker from last year. I remember I was giving Ravens fans a hard time because Tucker's missing field goals, but Gostowski, man, he got to get it together. He's 6 for 8 on the year, and they're like 40-yarders too. That's the thing. Like the 50-yarders, he drills 50 yards, but it's the 40-yarders that he missed this year. So hopefully he can get back on track. But yeah, man, hopefully Gostowski can get better. I'm gonna have to give him an F because basically the only field goal he had a chance to, and I ain't gonna get him an F. I'm gonna give him a D plus. His kickoff game was strong. He fulfilled the game plan. I don't think they got to the 25. I think only one time, and I feel like them missing that kick, bro. That's your job. You Adam V Jr. So I'm gonna give him a D plus. Gostowski gotta be better. Then Ryan Allen, all he did today was punt. That's all. He did pretty well, setting them up and booting the punts off. Let's look at his stats. I think he averaged about 49 yards per punt out of 6 punts inside the 22 times. So I'm gonna give Ryan Allen an A on this one. He basically did his job. For what he had to work with, because he was basically playing the whole time. He did his job. He booted it 49, 50 yards. He changed the field position he made. So if we punted it from the 30, from our 30. He made them have to go. He made them have to catch it to their 30. So he did put them in great field position. He did help out special teams. So I'm gonna give Ryan Allen an A on this one. So I mean that's pretty much it. We can talk more on the game and stuff now, but in terms of the keys, 0 for 3 on keys, and for the grades, quarterback D, running backs a C, wide receivers C minus, tight ends a B plus. Excuse me, offensive line D minus, defensive line I'm gonna give them a D. Linebackers I'm going to give them a C minus. Then secondary I'm gonna give them a B minus. Kicking I'm giving it a D plus, and punting I'm giving it a A. So those are the grades. Cyrus Jones. Let's talk about Cyrus Jones, man. First kickoff, the opening kickoff, he takes it out the end zone, and then tries to go back because realized he should have probably took a knee, and just muffed the kick. Was playing trash on defense. Look, man, Belichick told him to get up out of there. He put in because Cyrus Jones is on nickel, and I think Coleman, I think that's who it is, made him the nickel. So, I mean, just Justin Coleman. I think he made Justin Coleman the nickel this game after Cyrus Jones messing up. But yeah, man, this was a struggle game. Those kid talking about system time. I mean, if you listen to the review, I told you what we're doing with Gronkowski. We just chilling. Julian Edelman. I mean, like I said, the game plan this game, it felt like Belichick did what he did last year with the last 2 weeks, where he just didn't want to play anybody, do anything, because I remember the last 2 weeks thing was against the Dolphins and might have been the Jets too. He didn't even do anything. Like, he just basically said, run the ball. We're going to play conservative. We're going to get out here with a win. So that's what it felt like Belichick told these coordinators to do. Now, granted, they did try to win, because I do see in the second half they try to have more life come out of them. They actually try, but then it just got to the fourth quarter and it just looked like they just kind of gave up and said, man, all right, well, we're not coming back to win this game. Let's call it in. So, I mean, it's all right. 3-1. I said early, like before when Brady got suspended, I said if we go 2-2, we're going to be good. So going 3-1 is actually pretty great. 3-1, still first in the division. You'll see the offense again open up drastically when you see Gronkowski coming up. So you guys want to talk more about the game, we can. If you want to troll, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter at The Great Patriot. That's DAGR, the number 8, PATRIOT. You still feel like trolling. But if you want to talk about football, we can talk about it for like about another minute. And kids just saying Gronk's wash. All I see is kids in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just end the stream. Kid, I'm just going to put you in timeout. There you go. Oh. All right, y'all. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, and be on the lookout for Patriot Keys episode 9 this week as Brady comes back. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.